I was walking up one of the little hills and then I felt a tugging sensation.
Welcome back to another upload. I know that it took us a little over 1 week to get this upload out, but we have a good reason for it because we spent the last week in Santorini. If you're already following us on our personal channels, you have already seen the amazing content that we have shot, and stay tuned. Alright, subscribe, like, comment, whatever. You'll be notified of when our Santorini guide is coming out because boy, you do not want to miss it. We have swapped out our bikinis, our big shorts.
My bikinis.
We have swapped out bikinis and big shorts for coats and sweaters, and we have successfully settled. What is a non-successful settle? Okay, anyway, we have settled down in Poland, in Krakow specifically, and we thought that it would be a perfect opportunity to start creating Greek travel guides. And let us begin with the first 24 hours that we spent in Athens.
Our first stop was this historical village located in Krakow. It is called Anafiotika. It is a whitewashed village located in the middle of Athens, and it really reminds us of like a Greek island.
Yes.
When we went there, we were told that it would be a hidden village, but when we reached there were actually like mini tours being conducted. So I don't think it's that hidden. It is very nice because we got to go all the way up to the top to see a whole view of Athens. We were there for about 1 to 2 hours just getting lost in the village, just going down the little alleyways and the little streets, finding our own photo spots, taking photos here and there.
It is a very good tip that you always wear sports shoes in Athens because Athens is rather hilly, so there are multiple steps, not only at Anafiotika but along the streets.
One thing to note about Anafiotika is to take care of your belongings because I almost got pickpocketed. Yep. I was walking up one of the little hills and then I felt a tugging sensation. Someone was tugging my bag, or something was tugging my bag. I thought it may have been a tree branch or a small tree, and I looked back, there was no tree behind me, but there was a person. Those people, they were dressed as tourists, so you want to be careful because looks can be very deceiving. So just make sure that you have all your valuable belongings in front of you and zipped up at all times, and then you'll be fine.
After Anafiotika, we thought that we would head down to the Acropolis Museum because we wanted to have a better understanding of the Parthenon as well as the Acropolis. And if you're like us, when we first arrived in Athens, we do not know the difference between the Parthenon and the Acropolis. The Parthenon is basically a temple located in like a neighborhood that is known as the Acropolis. I would highly recommend you that you allocate a lot more time than we did because this museum is exhaustive. It houses all the remaining artifacts of the Acropolis and its slope. And one thing that is really cool about the museum is that, I do not know if you noticed, the moment you enter into the museum, it is like at a slight elevation because it's meant to mirror like you are entering the slope of the Acropolis, and at the end of your tour, you are basically rewarded with this panoramic view.
Panoramic view.
You are rewarded with this panoramic view of the Acropolis as well as the entire cityscape of Athens.
After the Acropolis Museum, we headed up to the Acropolis.
One of the best times to visit the Acropolis is either during sunset or in fact during opening hours. When we visited the Acropolis before the sunset, a lot of tourists had similar ideas. Queue for the ticket entry into the Acropolis was long. If you are planning to visit the Acropolis, I would advise you to go online to book beforehand, or you can actually head down there in person and book for the next day.
So right as we left the Acropolis complex, our phones ran out of battery unfortunately, so we did not manage to capture much of the remainder of the night, but it was so interesting. As we were walking back home, we ran into the middle of a pride march. At first we were wondering if it was a protest. Definitely definitely something that we'll remember because you know it's not every day that you run into the middle of such a big event for so many people. Yeah, this is my second time actually running into the middle of a Pride March. The first was in Geneva 2 years ago, and this is your first time.
Yeah, this is my first Pride March. Okay, so I hope they enjoyed our little sharing over here. Hopefully you have learned a lesson or two from our first 24 hours in Athens. If you have any questions or suggestions regarding Athens or Greece in general or whatever you'd like to see us cover, go ahead and drop a comment down below and we will answer them and we'll create an upload as well. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and I'll see you next week for a second Athens guide. Bye guys!